Hello, good morning. Today we are going to discuss about Unit 5 Finite Impulse Response Filter Design. So FIR filter design that we are going to start today. So before starting Unit 5, let us discuss about the syllabus. The FIR filter in this filter design, we will look upon introduction to FIR filters, design of FIR filters using rectangular Hamming window, FIR filter design using frequency sampling technique and its implementation techniques. So this is the syllabus which we are going to study upon this chapter, FIR filter design. Then for this particular chapter, you will have to use a book name as Digital Signal Processing Principles, Algorithms and Application by John G. Prokis and Digital Signal Processing by Ramesh Babu. These are the two books that you will have to use for this particular chapter. So let us start with the introduction of FIR filter. There are two types of digital filter. One is called as FIR filter and another is known as a IR filter. So what is exactly FIR filter and what is exactly IR filter? FIR filter in which we are going to design a digital filter. For digital input signal, we will be designing a digital filter, which is known as a FIR filter. Whereas IR filter, this filter is specifically used to convert analog filter design into a digital filter design. So that is the biggest difference between FIR filter and IR filter. A FIR filter is digital to digital filter, or we can say it as digital to digital conversion. Whereas IR filter is used to convert analog filter to digital filter. So while doing this, we will understand what are the different types of digital filters, then what is the difference between analog filter and digital filter. Then we will look upon the very important thing or phenomenon is called as a Gibbs phenomenon. So that we are going to understand. And finally, we will go through a Fourier series method for design of FIR filter. So these are the things that we are going to study in this chapter. Okay. So as I'm telling you that the digital filters, there are two different filters. One is called as FIR filter. Another digital filter is known as a IR filter. So FIR filter stands for finite impulse response filter, and IR filter is known as infinite impulse response filter. So these are the two digital filters. FIR filter is used to convert or is to model the digital signal into a digital. So it is a digital to digital conversion, whereas IR filter is used to convert the analog filter into a digital filter. So these are the two different digital filters that we are going to study. In this chapter, we will study about the FIR filter, and the next chapter we will look upon IR filter. Okay. So as I'm talking about finite impulse response filter, FIR filter. So FIR filter, as name itself, you will understand that it has a finite duration in unit sample response or unit impulse response. So because of it has finite duration unit sample response, so this filter is called as a finite impulse response filter because its impulse response is finite. So it is defined as h of n is the impulse response, which is equal to 0 when n is less than 0 or n is greater than or equal to m. Thus, the unit sample response is exist between 0 to m minus 1. Within this particular time only the unit impulse response is present. So definition of unit sample response is h of n equal to 0 for n is less than 0 and n is greater than or equal to m. So within the period of period from 0 to m minus 1, the unit impulse response is present, and therefore this filter is called as a finite impulse response filter. So FIR filter is non-recursive. FIR filter is non-recursive. then thus the output of the FIR filter depends upon only present and past inputs. It is a non-recursive. Therefore, the output of FIR filter depends upon present and past input sample. It does not depends upon the output. It depends only upon present and past samples of the input. As it is a non-recursive, so it's if output of FIR filter is only depends upon input, whereas input may be a past input or present input. It does not depends upon the present output. Therefore, or past output, sorry. It does not depends upon the past output. Therefore, the system is non-recursive. The differential equation which is used for the linear system, linear time LTI system, similarly we will be using for the FIR filter. So this convolutional equation or this equation is utilized in order to define the FIR filter. The equation is y of n equal to summation k varies from 0 to m b k x of n minus k. So this equation is being utilized in order to design the FIR filter. This is an convolutional filtering equation which is being used for design of FIR filter, whereas x of n minus k is representing the present sample as well as past sample of the input, and b suffix k is representing this particular thing is representing the coefficients of FIR filter. So the FIR filter is represented entirely for design of the system. The equation is y of n equal to summation k varies from 0 to m bk x of n minus k. So this equation is particularly used for design of FIR filter. So the system and with this now, if I expand this, this system is described here. Y of n equal to 0.5 x of n. This is the present sample where k equal to 0. Now the next value plus 0.5 x of n minus 1. Here k is 1. So this is the FIR filter equation in which 0.5 and 0.5, these are the coefficients of FIR filter. So if I expand this equation, it will be containing the coefficient multiplied by input sample. Either maybe it is a present input sample or it may be a past input sample. So this equation is representing the FIR filter system equation. So in this system equation, 0.5 and 0.5, these two values are representing the coefficients of FIR filter. So H of n, impulse response. This B suffix k is nothing but impulse response. So H of n for this particular system is 0.5, 0.5. So only two coefficients are present because here number of values or number of samples present in the system are only 2. So order of the filter is only 2, right? So with this is the FIR filter, which consists of only numerator coefficient. There is no any denominator coefficients. All the zeros are present in the FIR filter because there is no denominator. As there is no denominator, so there will not be, poles are not the part of this system. Only zeros are the part of this system. So this system is also known as all zero system. FIR filter system is also known as all zero system because only numerator part is present for this design of this particular system. As there is only denominator part is present, so we can say it as all zeros are represented by the FIR system. So FIR system is known as all zero system, right? So this is the equation we are going to make use of while design of FIR filter. So the equation is y of n equal to summation k varies from 0 to m bk x of n minus k. X of n minus k is representing present sample and past samples of the input. Okay. Now we look upon the IR filter, because we have discussed already about FIR filter. Now we will look upon the IR filter. As I have told you, the use of IR filter is to convert the analog filter into a digital filter. As you know that analog, when we talk about analog signal consists of infinite number of samples. So here in the IR system, IR digital filter system, the IR system has infinite duration of unit sample response. So this is the biggest difference between FIR and IR. In the IR, the unit sample response is infinite. So we can say it as h of n equal to 0 when n is less than 0. Otherwise, the unit sample response is present over the time. Only it is equal to 0 when n is less than 0. For the negative values of n, h of n is 0, whereas for all the positive values, h of n is existing. So this is here the unit sample response is infinite. So that therefore IR system, or it is known as infinite impulse response or IR filter, right? Because the unit sample response is infinite here. So as it is infinite, so name of this system or this filter is called as a infinite impulse response filter. Okay, so as the earlier FIR system, what we have studied, the FIR system is non-recursive because it depends only upon present input and past samples of the input. But IR system, we have talked about the FIR system. Now we will be talking about the IR system. So what I have told that IR system are recursive. So what it means recursive? Recursive, it is representing that the system make use of a feedback. So feedback mechanism is present. Feedback mechanism in the sense that output is taken towards the input, that is called as a feedback. Thus the output in case of IR system depends upon present past samples of the inputs, as well as it depends upon past samples of the output. As there is a feedback mechanism, so this system is called as it is a recursive system, because as it make use of feedback, so it takes the output, it takes towards the input. As output is now going towards the input, so this system uses a feedback mechanism, and therefore the system is called as a recursive system. So IR systems are recursive. They thus they use feedback, and thus output of IR filter depends upon present and past inputs as well as past outputs. It depends upon present and past inputs as well as past outputs. The differential equation for IR system, linear time invariant system, or IR system, it is represented here. Y of n equal to summation minus AK. AK are the coefficient related to the output. So this Y of n minus K. K varies from 1 to n. So here the output is output denotes the past samples of the output. Okay, so B of K, X of n minus K. K varies from 0 to m. So 0 to m, so we can say it as the input is, and this X of n minus K is representing present samples of the input as well as past samples of the input. So B of K are the coefficients related with the input, and A of K are the coefficients which are related to the past samples of the output. If I substitute value and if I look upon the particular equation, so here the system is described. So Y of n equal to Y of n minus 1 plus X of n. So here both input and output both are involved while design of the system. So this is called as a IR system. When the system includes only input, then the system is the system describes FIR filter. Now, when the system takes past samples of the output, present samples of the input, and past samples of the input, then the system is identified as a IR system. So here you can look upon this is representing the present input, and this is representing the past sample of output. Therefore, this system is describing IR filter. Okay, so this is a IR filter. So here the IR filter, the coefficients of IR filter here, AK will be equal to -1 and BK will be equal to 1. So the transfer function for this system is AN into U of n, where for n is greater than or equal to 0. So H of n is representing the impulse response. So impulse response for this is AN into U of n minus U of n. So this is representing the impulse response. This system is describing the IIR filter, right? So this is the biggest difference between IR system and FIR system. FIR system uses finite impulse, whereas IR system uses infinite impulse response. So FIR system is non-recursive, IR system is recursive. As it is a FIR system is non-recursive, so output depends only upon input, whereas input may be a present input or input may be a past samples of the input. Okay, and similarly for IR system, what we say that IR system is recursive because it uses feedback mechanism. In this, output is depends upon present samples of the input, past samples of the input, and past samples of the output. Therefore, the system is recursive. Therefore, the system is recursive. Both in this now, in the IR system, it consists of both numerator coefficient as well as denominator coefficient. Numerator coefficients are representing zeros of the system, whereas denominator coefficients are representing poles of the system. Okay. So we will talk about FIR and the comparison between FIR system and IIR system. So FIR is nothing but finite impulse response filter. IIR filter it stands for infinite impulse response filter. Okay, nature of this filter, as we already discussed about, the FIR filter is non-recursive, whereas IIR filter is recursive. The FIR filter involves only numerator coefficients, so computational efficiency, number of computations required in case of FIR filter is less as compared to IIR filter. Feedback mechanism. The FIR filter is non-recursive, so there is no feedback, only depends upon present samples of the input and past samples of the input. So feedback mechanism is absent. We can say it as the feedback mechanism is absent in case of FIR filter, whereas feedback mechanism is present in case of IIR filter. This is because in case of IIR filter, the output depends upon present samples of the input, past samples of the input, and past samples of the output. So output should be taken from output towards the input, and as we are taking it from output towards the input, so we can say it as there is a feedback mechanism in case of IIR filter design, right? So delay offered by FIR filter is more, whereas IIR filter is comparatively less. Requirement to generate current output. So in case of FIR filter, we don't need the current out. Requirement to generate current output. So in case of FIR filter, the output is generated by making use of present and past samples of the input, whereas in case of IIR filter, the output is generated by using present past samples of the input and past samples of the output. So this is what is important. Delay offered by FIR filter is high, whereas IR filter is less. And then transfer function. In the transfer function, FIR filter only consists of zeros. Zeros of the system are presented by the only zeros are present in the system in case of FIR filter. In case of IR filter, both poles and zeros are present because there is a numerator term as well as denominator term. So memory requirement. So in case of FIR filter, in order to store the all kinds of input, output, everything, the memory is requiring more, whereas in case of IR filter, the memory requirement is less. Sensitivity, the FIR filter is less sensitive, whereas IR filter is comparatively more sensitive. Resolution offered by, it is a digital, so it is less, whereas it is analog, so an impulse response is infinite, so therefore the resolution offered by IR filter is more. Resolution offered by IR filter is more, whereas FIR filter is less. Controllability. FIR filter is easy to control because it is only a zero system. Zeros are present in the system. Whereas IR system is quite difficult because it consists of zeros as well as poles. So this is, as compared to, this is quite difficult to handle. Okay, so we will go through. Okay, the next part we will talk about is a Gibbs phenomenon. So that this is already, you might have studied earlier, Gibbs phenomenon. So when we cut the signal for limited duration of, let's say I have a rectangular pulse, and if I cut it and if I take its frequency response, what I find that there is a oscillations in the pass band as well as there is oscillation in the stop band. This is a low pass filter. When I observe, when I as I keep on increasing the number of samples, its oscillations keep on decreasing. But what has happened, if I cut the response, if I take the limited duration of the response, what will happen? Because of limited duration, abrupt change in the input, because of abrupt change in the input, in the output, what will be the effect in the output? The oscillations. There are more oscillations are appearing at the output side, and these oscillations are because of truncation or cutting of the signal or abrupt change in the signal in the time domain. It will reflect in the frequency domain in terms of oscillation. So for the filter design, there is an oscillation in the pass band as well as oscillation in the stop band, and these oscillations are represented as a Gibbs phenomenon. But why these oscillations are appearing, that we should understand. These oscillations are appearing because of abrupt change in the signal in the time domain. The changes in the signal in the time domain, it will reflect as an oscillation in the frequency domain. So these oscillations are known as a Gibbs phenomenon. So the ripple in the pass band, ripple in the stop band, it is represented as Gibbs phenomenon. Because of abrupt change in the input, the transition band is also changing. So this transition band is increasing because of abrupt change in the signal in the time domain. And this is now this entire frequency domain, h of omega, the transfer function in the frequency domain. So where it represents this oscillation representing passband ripple, and this oscillation is representing a stop band ripple. And change from passband to stop band, it will take the time, and this is called as a transition band. So here is the Gibbs phenomenon. Why it is appearing? Because of abrupt change in the signal in the time domain. Okay, we will see in what is exactly Gibbs phenomenon. If the FIR filter design desired impulse response HD of n is generally infinite in length. Okay, so generally the impulse response is infinite in length while design of FIR filter. But it practically what we want a finite impulse response. So it is made finite. How it is being made finite? By truncating it, by cutting the signal with the use of window function. With the use of window function, let's say I have the signal, I have a signal which is a infinite in duration. So this is my signal which is a infinite duration. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut the signal, and this is being done by performing multiplication. If I multiply the signal with the window function, this is my window function. So within this period only signal will be present within this period, and for other than this the signal will be cut off. So this is what we did here. What is the purpose of doing this? Because we want a finite duration and we made it finite. How we made it finite? By truncating it with the window function. So with the use of window function, what we have done, we have truncated it, we have cut it for the particular period of time by with the use of window function, or by making use of this window function. What we have done, we have truncated the signal for the particular period of time. So truncation is achieved by multiplying the impulse response HD of n with the window function. So this is my window function W of n, and when I multiply window function with this is my desired impulse response, let's say. So when I multiply the window function with desired impulse response, I will be getting a finite duration impulse response. This is the finite duration impulse response. It is present only within the particular period of time, right? So in the time domain, truncation is achieved by multiplying impulse response HD of n with the window function. Therefore, finite impulse response H of n is represented as HD of n multiplied by window function, where W of n is the finite length of window function, where W of n is the finite length of window function, that is equal to 0 for the interval. Outside of this interval from 0 to m minus 1, outside of this interval, the impulse response H of n is 0. This range is being defined by the window function. So where m is the length of the filter, m is representing the length of filter. Truncating the impulse response introduces the undesirable ripple. As we do this, what has happened? This is going to be limited. As we do this, what will happen? There it introduces the undesirable ripple. Ripples are going to be introduced into the system, and along with ripples there may be some overshots. There may be some overshots in the frequency domain, and this effect is known as Gibbs phenomenon. This effect is called as Gibbs phenomenon. So Gibbs phenomenon occurs due to non-uniform convergence of Fourier series at discontinuity. So Fourier series is not being converged there. Here you can see that what we have done, this is my impulse response, it is being truncated. So immediately this is pass band, and here it is immediately it has gone to the stop band. So because of this immediate change in the abrupt change in the input, what will happen? Discontinuity is appearing here, and this discontinuity cannot be converged in the Fourier series. The Fourier series is not able to converge. The Fourier series is now doesn't have any fixed value. It starts replicating because or it becomes unstable. It does not have any fixed outcome. So because of this discontinuity, so at the point of discontinuity, the Fourier series does not converge, and because of that, in the frequency response, we have observed in the earlier slide, in the frequency domain, what will happen? Ripples are appearing. Ripple is appearing in the pass band as well as in the stop band, because of non-convergence of Fourier series at discontinuity. And this discontinuity is happening because of this window function, because the window function is abruptly changing its amplitude. It is, or pass band is abruptly going into a stop band. Therefore, and the discontinuity is appearing, and therefore what we have observed, there is a ripple in the pass band. Just for change of pass band to stop band, it takes time. Again, there is a ripple in the stop band. So this is what is called as a Gibbs phenomena. Okay, I hope all of you have understood this Gibbs phenomenon. So what we will discuss about the design of FIR filter using Fourier series method. So this is the last point of the discussion for today's lecture. So for design of what we have studied up till now, we have studied about what is exactly FIR filter and IR filter at the start. Then we have seen that the difference between FIR filter and IR filter, what is exactly known as FIR filter and what is exactly known as a IR filter, and what are the major differential points between FIR filter and IR filter that we have studied. Then the next is, for design of FIR filter, we have observed very common thing called as a Gibbs phenomenon. So what is that Gibbs phenomenon? It is undesirable ripples. The Gibbs phenomenon representing that there is an undesirable ripple in the pass band as well as in the stop band, and these undesirable ripples are represented with the term called as a Gibbs phenomenon. So now the next point of discussion, where we will be discussing about the design of FIR filter using Fourier series method. So this is the first method which we are going to take into for design of FIR filter. The very first method is called as a Fourier series method. Okay, so there are certain steps that one need to follow in order to design the FIR filter. So note that we have given the desired response is given. So this is represented as HD of e raised to j omega. This is the desired frequency response. Now what we have to do? We have to find out, we have to calculate this is in the frequency domain. This is in the frequency domain. So we will have to convert, or we will have to find out the impulse response in the time domain by applying the inverse Fourier transform, because as you know that the impulse response is infinite. So we need to make it finite while design of FIR filter. So we have with us the frequency response, the desired frequency response. So with the use of desired frequency response, HD of e raised to j omega, we need to find out HD of n. This is in the time domain, the impulse response in the time domain. How do we find out? By applying the inverse Fourier transform. With the application of inverse Fourier transform, we could convert frequency response, the signal in the, or the transfer function in the frequency response, we could convert into a time domain. with the use of inverse Fourier transform. So this is the tool which convert the signal from frequency domain back into a time domain. So what is inverse Fourier transform? Here it is represented. HD of n is equal to 1 upon 2 pi integration from minus pi to pi HD of e raised to j omega multiplied by e raised to j omega n d omega. So once we get the value of HD of n or the equation for HD of n, then what is this HD of n, where n varies from minus infinity to plus infinity. The n varies from minus infinity to plus infinity, which is undesirable. What we want? We want a finite impulse response. So how do we make it finite? By truncating HD of n to h of n. So we need to truncate the HD of n, desired frequency response HD of n, we would like to truncate to h of n. So this is being performed by using or by multiplying HD of n with the window function W of n. Here the value of window function is 1, which we have considered. So h of n equal to HD of n, where magnitude of n is less than or equal to n by 2, n minus 1 by 2. So this is what we are representing. This is h of n. This is h of n, which we are going to collect from HD of n. From minus n minus 1 by 2 minus n minus 1 by 2 to n minus 1 by 2. So this, how do we do this? By multiplying with the window function and 0 otherwise. So we have to find out h of n. How do we get h of n? By truncating HD of n. How do we do this truncating? By multiplying HD of n with the window function. So these are the certain steps that one need to follow for design of a FIR filter. Then once we get h of n, then we will have to find the transfer function. So this is the equation in order to find the transfer function. So in the transfer function, one more thing that we are going to observe, that the power of z, the power of z is positive as well as negative. Power of z positive is representing that the system is causal. The system is causal. So causal system cannot be realized. Okay, so for that purpose we need to convert this into a realizable system. Power of z is positive, so it represents that we need a future samples. Z raised to minus n is representing that these are the samples which are the past samples. But z raised to plus n, what does it represent? It represents that the system requires the future samples of input as well as output, which is not at all possible. So this system is if it requires future samples of input, so we cannot realize this system. And for that purpose, in order to realize system, what we have done, the new transfer function is achieved by multiplying it the system with some certain delay. The system is multiplied with the certain delay, and the new system h dash of z is obtained, and then filter coefficient is being calculated. So these are the certain steps that one need to apply in order to get the FIR filter system function, right? So we will see in detail about FIR filter design in the next lecture. Now with this, we will stop here for today's lecture. Thank you.